Hey everyone, thank you for checking out this video. This video is about me being autistic and using technology. I want to give you a little bit of a history of what I have done with technology, but first I'm going to give you some background about myself, B, my experiences, and what I have worked about being autistic since I've been diagnosed about 2 years ago. But first, I've been working in the same job for the last 20 years in a factory, and if you're at all interested in working with me, I am open to work with people in Canada. The information is in the description. And little background if you don't know what uh, being autistic, what that means. It actually used to be called, well, I'm considered level one, which means a highly functioning individual who is autistic. But got changed and before it got changed, I would be classified as Aspergers. So, you know anyone who's Aspergers, they're like me. But I have other things like ADHD, dyslexia, and learning disabilities. So take that with a grain of salt if you're trying to compare apples to apples. But anyway, was in a group yesterday with people who are autistic like me, and some people who are new to group got recently diagnosed because of various reasons. And one instance that we were talking about is someone had a daughter got diagnosed, and they were talking about being disrupted, like last minute changes. I have noticed that in myself. Like I'm not good with last minute changes. So if you know anyone who is autistic, ask them. Are you okay with last minute changes? And if not, how much notice do you prefer to have? So that could reduce some stress for them. And another thing for me is I I when I'm working with reading and writing, and sometimes with other things, I would prefer complete silence, like it is in this room right now. But anyway, going back to AI and my use of AI to understand myself better and other people better, because non-autistics or holistic people at times make me wonder, like make me ask questions, like, is this a neurotypical point? Is this a neurotypical way of thinking about this or going about stuff? So I cannot change my brain out, but you can change AI's brain. You can ask from a point of view of a non-autistic person, or what's it called? Ne- uh, um, non-neurodiverse person or general person. How is this normal for this situation, or or you can say like, try to decode it for me, and it will decode it for you. And depending on what's going on, you can bring in your own context, like I have sometimes, quite a bit actually. I pull in some other sources of my past chats in Evernote. So you can pull in that kind of information, or you can use the open web and ask questions about that. Like, is this a common feature about being autistic? Like, I just recently got told by a couple of therapists that I have worked with that I am widget minded or black and white thinking. Okay, like the I can get I had a general idea what that means, but what does that mean? So I open ChatGPT, ask it to define it for me, and after that I actually ask it to find Spotify playlist for podcasts. And it came up and it pulled in more information, so I listened to it and I understand it a bit more. And I don't fully understand it in my case. I have a general idea of what it is, but I don't have the full understanding yet. But that's a use case that you can use for trying to figure out your neurotype. And when I was going through the process of being tested for my disabilities, for ADHD and autistic, I had questions, and it helped me quite a bit. So if it's, but you have to be careful. If you are, don't, I recommend people do not give personal information out to ChatGPT, even if it is off for training. You can turn that off in this in settings, but I wouldn't even put it in. I will under the assumption that people take a look at the chat history anyway. So when you do use ChatGPT or other AIs, keep some broad, like I'm working, when I'm working, I don't even name the company I work for. I don't even name the people who I work with. When I talk about the boss, my boss, or talk about the HR person, I do not say names. So that's just a tip for you, for people who are or more unaware of stuff. So try to keep that as broad as possible. And yeah, that is the general idea of what you can use AI for. And also, you can ask about how you can process information, your emotions. So sometimes it is difficult, even for myself, to truly understand what's going on in me in the moment, or even over one period of time. Like one point, I actually asked ChatGPT, because he knows me over time, what am I more, what do I display more? Am I more autistic or more ADHD? In that particular case, I said I'm more autistic because of my child history. So that's another way you can do stuff like that. And you can ask questions to your past account, to your account, like read between the lines and find out what is something that I've been dealing with, but I don't know it on a conscious level. Give that a try, and that if you, you can, it can reveal some things that you may not know of. But anyway, that's the general idea of what you can use AI for, and stuff. You can everything like that. If you like this video, leave a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment or a question. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Helps out a lot. And my question before we leave is, when if you've been diagnosed about autistic, what was your frame of mind at the time? Like, you had a lot of questions, or were you relieved, or were you upset about it, or another emotion, or another question? Like, for me, it was, that makes a lot of sense, because I did a lot of research prior to I got told. So it was, I started the process before I looked into it. Like, I had a suspicious, but didn't know it. So when I was going through the process, I looked at some videos, like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's me. So it was more about to confirm, and for me to add, like, more deeper questions can be revealed. So anyway, going on about stuff. So if you like this video, again, do all those things and have a great day.